Hi, welcome back to Outdoor Gear and Skills. Last week I started talking about my Camelbak Mule, and I wanted to talk about the gear that I'm using to do the American Cancer Society 300-mile challenge for the month of August. Right now I am sitting at about 166 miles, so I'm doing pretty good. Haven't gone out riding today. I'm going to do that in a little bit, but I actually took this mule out with me later that day after I made that video, and the thing just works great. I really didn't need to have much with me, so I just threw my metaglasses case in here and all that, and that was great. And so what I did when I actually upgraded from that mule that I bought in 1995, I was thinking that this was actually probably that one was a different model, but this is the mule that I bought to replace that one, and they did some significant upgrades on there. They still have this pocket here that is about the size, of that pocket, that one pocket, and so it unzips. It's got a couple organizers in there, and then it's got just a little bit of a mesh section right there. One of us had a crash right there, and that's kind of ripped up, so we've got to get that fixed up. But it has that pocket, and then just kind of an empty pocket, that you can drop in, or maybe stuff a map or something like that, a jacket, something small in there. I really don't like open spots like that. On the original one that I showed you, where it came through the bottom and you could maybe kind of shove your jacket and have it there, that's one thing. But when it's just kind of an open section like that, I don't really care for that much. I've got that same thing on my 511 backpack, and I just don't really find it very useful. But it has a big pack, big main section, that goes the length of my hand and forearm. So that's nice and deep. And then, this is going back quite a while. So this was before we were getting into smartphones and all of that. So it had a pocket about this deep that you could easily drop like an iPod or something like that in there, small flip phone at the time, so that was good. But one of the things that they improved upon is they added these padded sections with some elevation on it, so you got some airflow on your back. So that was significant. And when I open up the bladder here, what they did is they went to an antimicrobial, which was really nice. It just helped to keep the mildew and stuff out. But it went to a wide mouth opening. It was a lot easier to get ice inside of here, a lot easier to fill. So I could just take this and shove that under the ice maker in the refrigerator. I can't do it with that small opening on the original one. But coming out, when this hit the market, this was such an improvement over just having water bottles and stuff like that I talked about before. And so to have this on my back and give me, a little bit of storage space for a little bit of food and extra tube was a great improvement. And then this was a good improvement to go up in size, to start getting more pockets. And so I started carrying tools and things like that. I actually carried a tool set that was really too big, too heavy. I shouldn't have been carrying it, but I wanted to be able to have just tools, because I would go out, some areas that were far from the vehicle. They also put a bigger handle on here, so it's easier to grab. And they have a removable waist sling. A lot of times I don't really have this loaded down very much, and so I'm not even really using the waistband. I do on another Camelbak that I'll talk about in a little bit in the next video, but this was a big upgrade and allowed me to carry more stuff. Again, I'm a huge Camelbak fan. I think they really did well with their products. I beat the crap out of them. You know, any bag going down, taking, you know, a hit, taking a crash is gonna get ripped. I don't care, you know, who you are, you know, what company you are, but this was, you know, this was a really good upgrade. I really like this bag, and they're so worth just keeping around, and especially now where I'm biking in the heat here in Houston, to just kind of float through a different one, come back, spray it with some Febreze, or take the contents out and then wash it. It's just nice to kind of switch through these. And where I'm riding locally, I don't need to be carrying my big Camelbak hog. I am going to talk about that in a future video. But for my money, Camelbak is it. I love it. I'd love to hear what you are using when you're out there riding, when you're biking, that kind of thing. And as always, thanks for watching Outdoor Gear and Skills, and we'll see you out there.